Hello, my name is Jibrael Khan, and this is my response to question 3. My candidate number is 6053, and my center number is UX416. Question 3 asks, how did your production skills develop over the course of this project? Throughout this project, I developed skills in photography, Photoshop, and magazine design. Over time, I became much more comfortable creating professional layouts, editing images, and using design software to create a realistic aviation magazine. One of the biggest skills I developed through this project was learning how to use Photoshop properly. At the beginning of the project, I had zero experience using Photoshop tools. However, throughout the course of the project, I learned how to install custom fonts using websites like thefont.com and how to use those fonts to create more realistic magazine typography. I also learned how to remove backgrounds from images, which became extremely important when creating magazine layouts and organizing visual elements throughout my project. As I continued working on my magazine, I became more comfortable using Photoshop tools to resize images, organize layouts, edit colors, and improve the overall professionalism of my magazine pages. Compared to the beginning of the project, my editing skills became much more advanced and helped my magazine appear far more realistic and visually polished. Another production skill I developed through this project was photography. Before taking my final magazine images, I spent time practicing different photography techniques using, using smaller objects and modeled cars to better understand camera angles, lighting, focus, and composition. These practice images helped me improve my understanding of visual hierarchy and how different camera angles can make subjects appear more dramatic and visually interesting. As I continued practicing photography, I became more confident taking aircraft photos for my final magazine. I learned how to frame aircrafts more effectively, how to use symmetry to create strong composition, and how to take clearer and more professional looking images. For example, the front-facing Boeing 727 image I used on my cover was heavily influenced by photography techniques I practiced earlier in the project. Throughout the project, I also improved at balancing light and positioning so the aircraft's images would appear more cinematic and visually engaging. Overall, this project helped me significantly improve my production skills in photography, Photoshop, and magazine design. Through the course of the project, I became much more confident using professional editing software, organizing magazine layouts, and creating visually engaging designs. If I were to complete this project again, I would likely spend even more time experimenting with advanced Photoshop techniques and taking more original aircraft photography to further improve the realism and visual quality of my magazine. Thank you for watching my question 3.